Okay, so let's take a look at all the parts to this awesome live version of Land of Hope and Dreams from live in New York City. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video, because at the end of the video I'm going to play through the whole song alongside a homemade backing track, and you'll see tab scroll across the screen. Okay, so this song's in the key of B flat major. You're going to want to put a capo on fret 3 for this one. Tempo's around 110 BPM. Let's take a look at the chords first. So we've got a few versions of G5. So third finger, third fret low E, block the A string, pinky, third fret B. Okay, I think I can also hear this. Maybe my ears deceiving me. It could be Neil's or playing it, but another version of G5 I really like doing. So a middle finger, third fret low E this time, and then you add your pinky on the third fret B, and then third finger, third fret B. Okay, so that's G5. Okay, if you go back, the two versions of G5, if you go back to the first version of G5, take your pinky off, it's technically a G major chord, okay? And then you've got a C5 power chord, which looks like a C, but it doesn't actually, you don't actually need to put your middle finger down, so that's a C5. So third fret A, open G, and then first finger, first fret B. Okay, and then also another version of C sus2 is like that other G5 with your third and your pinky. Just put your middle finger, third fret, A string. Okay, cool. E minor 7. Bruce likes to often play it like this: middle finger, second fret A, pinky, third fret B. I think he blocks the D string, but you can play it. So that's the main, even though you don't actually need the A string most of the time. So you could even just do it like that. So there's another version I like, which is E minor 7 this way. Call it the kind of Wonderwall chord. First finger, second fret A, middle finger, second fret D, third finger, third fret B, pinky, third fret high E. And then you got D sus2, middle finger, second fret G, pinky, third fret B. And play the open high E string, that really nice D sus2 sound. And if you block it out, you've got a D5 power chord. Cool, so not too many chords, there's slight variations of each. What I'm also going to do now is put the song structure up on the screen now, so hopefully that will help you break down all the individual sections. Any chords in brackets will be more, it means that there's more than one chord in that particular bar. All song structures will be in the description of YouTube videos. You can copy and paste it into a Word file or whatever. So it's quite a long song, but fantastic, and lots of repeating parts as well. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at the intro first. So Max comes in, you've got basically 5.5 bars of drums. And then you've got that awesome riff that Bruce does. It's a 4-bar riff that's done 4 times, but Bruce is on his own for the first 2. Okay, so you start off with a G5, you're going to pick the low E string, then up on the B string, then back to the low E string, and then put your first finger on, this is more like a G sus4, on the first, so first finger, first fret B, so you're going to go 1 and 2 as a tie there, and 3, and then back to the third fret low E, and then open B, and then open G. I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up, up, like that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So there's a tie on the start beat 2 there. So they're all 8th notes, but one of them's tied. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... They're going to stay there, but just go E, B, with your first finger down, back to the E string, and then take it off and go up, up on the B and the G strings. Okay, and then you go to the C5 and do this basically the same thing. Down, up, but with your first finger off, and then put it back on, and then go up on the B, up on the G. And you do the same bar again, but a different ending. It's just the ending, put your middle finger, second fret G, and then do an open G. That's the 4-bar phrase, so do it nice and slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 Guitar Pro file for this one. You can slow it down, etc. Don't forget all tabs. You get it from the jsmusicschool.co.uk store. We also have Neil's parts as well on there. So any files you get, you can either get in PDF format or Guitar Pro if you've got that program. Pretty cheap, but definitely recommend it. So that's the 4-bar phrase. It's done 4 times, but the band comes in rounds 3 and 4. Okay, let's take a look at the first and second verses, which are pretty much the same. They're quite long, these verses, but sound absolutely fantastic. So what we're going to do, G5, slightly different picking pattern here. E, B, G, E, B, G, E, B. All 8 notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and picking wise down, up, down, up, down, up. Do that for 2 bars. There's some slight variations here, so I'm kind of getting the main gist of what Bruce is doing. Feel free to do it your own way as well. So C5, down, up, then add your pinky for the C sus2. That's bar 3, the first and second verses. Down, up, down, up, down, up. And then just continue with the C sus2 for bar 4. So here, he starts off with a G, I think. Down, up, then back to the G5. So pretty much the same picking through it. Down, up, down, down, up. So that was bar 5 there with the G and G5, and then keep going with the G5 for the next bar. Then E minor 7. This time, it just sounds quite nice, jangly with a high E string. E, B, G, E, E, B, E, B. Okay? Down, up, down, down, up. But feel free to change it up as Bruce does all the time. You do that bar twice. And then D sus2. Okay, you're going to go D, B, G, D, E, B, G, D. 2 bars. Then the C sus2 bar again. 2 bars. D sus2 bar for 2 bars. And C sus2 for 1 bar. D sus2. G5 for 2 bars. Up. Now this is where maybe it's Neil's doing this, but just sounds really good, which is sounds really nice. So get the C sus2, the version with 3 fingers, and go A, B, G, E, B, G, B. Do that for 1 bar, and then do the E minor 7, where you can just move those fingers. Same picking pattern. Just sounds really nice. Again, it could be a clash with all the other guitars going on. C sus2, D5. That picking pattern there, D, B, G, D, B, G, D, B. Cool, so that's the first and the second verses. Don't forget to strip down all the sections in Guitar Pro, loop it, play it with a metronome, etc. Okay, so now we're going to do the breaks. So we're going to do the first, second, third, fourth and 6th breaks. They're all exactly the same. It's a 4-bar riff done twice. Obviously, I don't play the mandolin, but Steve is kind of doing the same melody as Bruce. So the main melody is actually, you're kind of hearing Steve, but Bruce is definitely doing it as well on the guitar. So you've got this 4-bar riff. So don't forget to double check with the song structure if you're confused about how many times you do everything. So here, it's a 4-bar riff. What you're going to do is going to grab, so 0, 3, 3 in terms of frets with your first finger. You're going to go like this. 1 and a 2, then add your 3rd finger. And then down, up, down again, and then down. Big stretch with your pinky. It's now on the 7th fret, so 3, 5, and 7. 1, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. Then let's tie it into the next bar, and then you got, again, let's start on the and of 1, these riffs. 1, and a 2, and a 3. And then put your first finger, 2nd fret, high E, middle finger, 3rd fret, B. 3 of those, then add your middle finger back to the 3rd fret high E. Okay, and then what you're going to do is your first finger now is on the 5th fret, your pinky's now on the 8th fret. Okay, the numbers correspond to with the capo on. 1 and a 2, and then 5 7, and then 0 5 5. You can hit the G string as well. Okay, so that bar again, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and then kind of repeat it but different ending. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, and I put my pinky there, so I'm going 0 8 for the very final pick there. And obviously you need the other chords behind it in the bass to really get that amazing kind of coming together, all the nice melodies. So 1, so the whole 4-bar phrase, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. Cool, and that 4-bar phrase is done twice every time. Now it actually goes underneath the sax solo as well, so you're just going to do that 4-bar riff 4 times in the sax solo. So let's now take a look at the 3rd verse, okay? So the 3rd verse comes after the 2nd break. Just a little bit more minimal guitar playing here. You're just going to do the classic down, down, up, down, up, with more picking. E minor 7. Down, down, up, down, up. Okay, D sus 2. 2 bars. G5. 2 bars. C sus 2 for 2 bars. And you do all those bars again, so E minor 7, but just with a different ending for the final bar. D sus 2. And feel free to embellish it. So obviously he's doing a lot of interacting with the audience as well, so he's not always playing some of this stuff. And then D sus 2 for the final time. Cool, so that's the 3rd verse, which does actually come after the sax solo. No, just before the sax solo, sorry. Cool, so now we'll take a look at the 4th verse. So Bruce is doing a lot less here. I'm just doing sometimes simple strums, even though they might not be in the live performance, just so I'm not sort of sitting there in the walkthrough twiddling my thumbs. So really minimal guitar playing and just kind of just strumming each chord. So the 4th verse, basically what you've got is you've got an 8-bar phrase, E minor 7, which rings for 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. D sus 2, which rings for 2 bars. Again, you can add some embellishments as well. G5, like I've done in the walkthrough. 1, 2, 3, and then C sus 2, 2 bars. Okay, so that's done 3 times. On the very final bar, you just, instead of just doing C sus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 3rd round of that 8-bar phrase, you go C sus 2, 3, 4, then D sus 2. Cool. So after the 4th verse, you've got the 3rd break. Then you got the breakdown, which is where everybody is pretty much just piano, really stripped down. So you can always not play anything for the first 2 rounds. On the walkthrough I have, and you're basically just doing the same thing, but you're kind of maybe coming in on the 3rd round, okay? So that's the breakdown section. Okay, cool. So then the only things we need to do really now are those awesome kind of musical stabs, as they're called, in the 5th break and 7th break. So got that awesome big thick sounding G5, and you're gonna do this. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing with C sus 2. 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you do that 4-bar phrase 4 times. 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2. All those amazing drum fills for Max. 2, 3, 4. So once you've done the 5th break, the only other thing really is the 7th break, which is basically the same as what you just did, but a lot shorter. So in the 7th break, G5, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, C sus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then G5. Again, feel free to do stuff like that for 4 bars. Again, this is a lot loose. On the live version, it's a lot looser timing. I've just kind of consolidated it basically just to make it easier, the backing track and the tab. So basically that's the 7th break, so you do those stabs, C sus2, and G5. Again, it's a lot looser because Bruce is cueing everybody in. So ringing out for 4 bars, and then the outro, we does that awesome falsetto voice as well. It's just phenomenal. So E minor. So the outro, basically, you've got the 8-bar phrase, which is basically 2 bars E minor 7. So the Barcelona does people get ready, and then E minor 7, 2 bars, C sus2. You could always do it slower, and then G for 4 bars. Okay, so Bruce is kind of cueing all the other band members, and they're kind of very loose kind of timing there. So you do that 8-bar phrase, E minor 7, E minor 7, C sus2, 2 bars, G5 for 4 bars, and that 8-bar phrase is done twice. And in the 3rd time, when he's just in that crazy falsetto bit, yeah, and then he does 4 bars of C sus2, but probably longer on record. So 4 bars of C sus2, and then this train, 2 bars, big drum fill from Max, and then on G5. So that's all the parts. Again, if you want Nils's part, which is in standard tuning, you can get the tab from the jsmusicschool.co.uk Bruce store on there. You can download everything in either Guitar Pro format or PDF format, obviously the backing track as well. So I really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Any comments or suggestions, let me know down below, and subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications if you haven't already. Thanks very much for supporting the channel. See you next time. Thanks. Bye. like to get guitar profiles, tab PDFs, backing tracks from any of these tutorials, head over to either the Subscribe Star page or my website, jsmusicschool.co.uk. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications. Thanks very much, see you on the next one.